Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gat, your host. As you can see on the screen, you're looking at two natal charts. Who's the twin? Are they twin flames? So we're going to look at it. We'll always have the female on the left and the male on the right. We'll start with the female's natal chart first. And again, we do have what's now called a worksheet. It used to be called the natal chart report. It's now a worksheet. It still has all the information about astrology and archangels and all that stuff, but I won't be able to type everything out like I was doing because it's just a large demand. But it was always a free report. All right, and it still is. All right, so now I'm going to go right in. First house, the ascendant. So you're already talking about Gemini. And first, what I want to do too, give me a moment. I just want to do one thing. Okay, we're going to go for the female. Sun sign Cancer, the nurturer, moon. So they're already mixing in the feminine and the masculine. Sun is always divine masculine. The moon is divine feminine. So you're already mixing in the divine masculine with the feminine through the moon. She'll be an enlightener. But again, she's sharing moon energy through Cancer. And then Virgo, again, Virgo can be the healer, can also be the analyzer, can also be a criticizer. So you still got a little mysticism going on, because if you're looking at Revelation 12 right there, you got the mother, the virgin, the moon at her feet, the sun at her head, and she's nurturing the baby, the Cancer. So you already see it already. The ascendant is the Gemini, again, the mother-son relationship. And then the medium coeli is Pisces. So this is a spiritual person. And we're gonna find out where medium coeli is. Sometimes it's the 10th house, which could mean career, but sometimes it's not in the 10th house. So when we get there, we'll know for sure. Alrighty. And again, you see the ascendant at 22 degrees with Gemini, so you know this is a twin flame situation. At least she is. And then we just have to find out through the male as well and see what's going on there. Alrighty, now going to the male. Sun sign Aries, moon sign Libra. Again, Libra, couple, things of that nature. And Aries can be more or less ambitious, focused. Like I always say, Pope Benedict was an Aries, and I remember when he toured New York, and I remember he was walking with all those people, and I just remember his eyesight was so good that the little baby stuck their hand out, and as soon as the little baby stuck the hand out to touch the Pope, he immediately touched the baby back. Like he saw it immediately, so he definitely had really good eyesight. But he's really known for being a really good writer, a really good defender of the faith. Because before that, he was an enforcer. Then he was like an enforcer for the Catholic Church. Then he became the Pope, and so he kind of mellowed out a little bit. But he was still, known for writing and talking about their beliefs and things. So that's how they're really focused. Aries can be really focused people, but sometimes I say ambitious or just somebody moving forward. I don't like to use the word aggressive because people think I'm saying, oh no, they're pushy. I'm not saying they're pushy, but they're really forward motion people. And I think Pope Benedict, he's an example of that. Again, I'm not Catholic. I just tell it like it is. It should just tell it like it is. Alrighty. Now the moon sign Libra, and again that's that Libra, that mysticism, mystic moon. So that subconscious person always is gonna have a sense of justice. And then the ascendant is Scorpio. So once again, you're dealing with that Scorpio, that 8th house, and you're dealing with twin souls again. That soul house is the 8th house. And then medium coeli, Leo. Again, medium coeli. If they're putting Leo, if medium coeli is the 10th house, or if they're using medium coeli for a twin soul situation, they're using the light off Leo, because his ruler is the sun, and they want you to solar ascend. Solar ascend, that is really the agenda that's offered, but a lot of people don't accept it or don't meet their karma. And again, if you're talking about Libra, you're going to be talking about karma as well. So what I was trying to do is give you a general profile of what we're looking at. And again, let me go over this as well. So now that we did that, and I did do 715 for him. 715 was the Aries. the sun sign Aries. So 715 in angel numerology is the changes that you are making or considering are exactly the right steps for you to take. And why am I saying that? Whenever you get your natal chart is the divine timing. This is the perfect time for you to get it. It's divine timing. It's nothing accidental or coincidental. And it's just people are waking up and realizing that they're twin souls, and they're beginning to have knowledge of twin souls. So with that knowledge is coming all this information. In his case, it's concerning changes. So on this worksheet, your natal chart worksheet, again, you know all about astrology. If you read it, there'll be some notes about your natal charts on it. But you'll also, if you want to take the past life test, that's there. More information on numerology, natal chart numerology. So if you want to go more in depth with it, you can click right on that link. It says prophecylastdays.webs.com/natal chart astrology, and it'll give you all your numbers, sacred scribes, angel number, and writing the beast. All these are numerologies. People that have problems with harassment or negative energies, we have a video for that. The black sun. A lot of people have a God thing going on with Cancer and Capricorn. You can click on those links. Listen to Santos, because some people are not. You got Earth angels coming. You got all kind of people coming to this planet, higher beings and things. You can see it in the natal chart. And again, we have a section for retrogrades. All right, so now we're going to go back to this chart. So Aries, you're already dealing with a Gemini, you're already dealing with a twin flame situation, and you're dealing with a struggle. There will always be a struggle with twin flames for the most part, but so far you'll be a communicator, and you will talk about twin flame matters. You won't be afraid to talk about what you believe. You won't be afraid to stand up for what you believe, and you will be a good multitasker, and you might have some struggles there. You might have some twin struggles there because that's your ascendant. All right. Now your sun sign is Cancer, and you have Palace there. So, the second house we did your first house first, your ascendant. Now we're doing your second house, which you have Taurus. You have a Taurus rules the house. You have Taurus rules the house, but it's about your finances and your possessions. So you might deal with finances regarding education, finances regarding property, because that's at 6-9 is your family sign and things like that. And then again, so you got your sun in this house, so possessions and finances will be kind of important to you because you got your sun in that house, and you got the nurturing, and you also have others helping you in that house as well. And the number I'm seeing that I would like the number 49. See what's the significance of 49. So you go to your natal chart website, type in 49. Two souls becoming one. See, because what people don't, the more I do these charts, I'm finding out with these twin souls, like finances and possessions are important. And if you really think about it, it is important because, I know when they were pushing the twin soul thing on me, I was like, how am I going to be a twin soul? And I was like, well, how am I going to pay for what? Anything, food, shelter, clothing, how am I going to pay for it? But when you study the charts, you can see it. Like, it's always related. Like, I think I'll count it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, once again, in your 7th house is finances. But what is it? It's retrograde. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Neptune retrograde. But we'll see some other spots. Wherever Jupiter is. Like, let me see it again. We'll see it. Like, when you see what Libra is, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, your 5th house is romance. So you got Libra. So you know you're dealing with a relationship, and it's twin flame because you got Jupiter. Or you got Pluto, excuse me. But right there in the next house, you got Jupiter. So it's real close. Like, if you just watch the chart, the money will always be kind of close to where the relationship of the twin souls are. So that's the universe's way of trying to make sure that the twin souls have money and possessions and things. And you can mess it up, like your twin soul with bad karma or whatever. You can actually mess up your income in this life and in the future life, because you see it on the charts too much not to notice it. In fact, if you notice the money for Jupiter, the sign for Jupiter is 4, is the angel sign, because twin souls, if they were ever to ascend, they would be like angels. And it's like the 4 is an angel sign, but it's also the marriage sign, and Jupiter is used with marriage and things when you know the symbolism. And that's why I tell you, you got the sun in your second house of money, because you're talking about solar ascension and things of that nature. And the moon always represents the reincarnation back to the planet. Like you get sucked up to the moon and then brought back down. Your memory gets wiped clean and you're brought back down. So you see a battle going on. That's what I'm trying to tell you for the sun and the moon, because it's a battle going on to free the soul from moon reincarnation to get ready for solar ascension. And we'll go back to your beginning again. I believe we're doing female. Sun in Cancer, Moon in Virgo, Ascendant Gemini, and then Pisces. All right. All right, going into the second house, which is where your true north node is, or your third house, your true north node. This is what you should be working on now, and it's sunlight communications, because of the Leo is the sun. Bold communications, Leo communications. And this is how you know what I'm talking about. If you notice the number 20 with Keris is the nurturer. The number 20 means solar ascension. So that's a fight going on with you for the female, and they're trying to really save the soul. And that's why I said a lot of times when people really love Jesus, I'm not saying this person does, but they don't understand why. Like, they don't understand it's bigger than them. It's bigger than them just going, Jesus, oh, I love the name of Jesus, oh, Jesus, Jesus. Whatever the case might be, but metaphysically, the inside of them know, like the subconscious knows, or the soul knows, I want a solar ascend. I need that Messiah. So that's really what it's about. So you got love there, and you got, notice how your eight is there because it's dealing with Scorpio. And then you got 2, and 8-2 is a highly metaphysical number. Like, I'm always seeing 8-2, highly metaphysical number. And 8-2 will be under the sign of Leo too. So you got the Leo, you got the love, you got Venus. So you have a lot of love there, and you got a lot of nurturing going on in your third house of communication. So you'll be really good when it comes to talking. Your fourth house, again, family, possessions, mother, property, higher education, ancestors. And then you got the moon. So you got a lot of nurturing going on in your fourth house. But you also got the moon at 13, which is a lot of testing. They even call that the serpent. And the tester. So that's why I said, because Virgo can be critical. And that's what you got, like, in your fourth house, a lot of critical analysis, a lot of energy because of Vesta. And then you got your fifth house of fun and romance and taking adventure and taking risk and childbearing and nature. And you got the Libra, which is the relationship. So even though that's the fun house, you're already toying with the relationship. And then once again, you see the money. You see Jupiter right there. Why? Because the twins, as long as the twins is getting together, you'll see that money. And that's why it's right there with the scales, which is the seventh house of relationships. And then you also have Saturn, because Saturn is saying he's keeping the discipline. Saturn is keeping the order. He's like the judge most of the time. Saturn, he's like the judge. He's going to set the standards. He's going to watch you, and he's going to make sure you do what you're supposed to do. So he's right next to the money, because he's basically saying don't mess the money up. And even if you know he's at 3 degrees, which means a woman, but if you go back to 3rd degree, if you go back to 3, that's your house with Leo and communications. So he's really trying to make sure that you guys do what you're supposed to. That's Saturn energy. And then Pluto, because they both give you lessons. And then Pluto is a direct connection to the 8th house, because he rules Scorpio. So this is definitely a twin flame situation. Next house is Scorpio, which rules the 8th house, and there goes Lilith. But Lilith is retrograde. And then if you notice, you start seeing retrogrades right after Lilith. So in a past life, Lilith feels like the feminine aspect of your twin soul union did not feel cherished and did not feel a certain, like on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now they're trying to get you healing, the Virgo healing, and you at the vertex cross, because this is all about healing. And then they're trying to get you, because Uranus retrograde means internal healing. So they're trying to do something in your healing in your 6th house to heal, say, past life situations. And then the 7th house, they're trying to heal you again with Sagittarius, because he's a Centauri healer. And you see the 22 and the 55. So again, you're dealing with twin flame. 22 is a twin flame number, and 55 is also, but 55 means involution, evolution, or just the opposite. Best way to understand is opposite polarities, like the opposite polarities, but they're coming together, male, female coming together, and that's a 22. And they're doing this by your dreams. But your dreams, when you dream, whether you know or not, you're dreaming about your past life, you're dreaming about your twin, and this is how they're healing you to make twin flame union in this life. And then when you go to your 8th house, you deal with Capricorn. But like I said, you have to really read that information on guides through Capricorn and things of that nature. You deal with your 9th house. You're dealing with, which looks good. Your 9th house has Aquarius in it. Aquarius means surrender, because you got to surrender to get to your higher self. The souls have got to say, hey, listen, we're twin souls, so we can't get caught up in this material world. We have to humble ourselves. We have to work together. So that's really kind of what they're hoping for in your 9th house of higher self. And in your 10th house is medium coeli at 4, which is the angel number, which is Jupiter, which is the marriage number. Anytime you see Jupiter in medium coeli, that means a marriage. Now, you don't see Jupiter, but you see 4, which is Jupiter. Just look at the number 4 and look at the number Jupiter. Whenever you see Jupiter with medium coeli, it usually means a marriage. And then you're at number 1, or a new beginning. But it can also mean that you're going to have a career in some type of spiritual thing, whether it's, intuitive stuff, card reader, psychic, or it could even be church. Anything is considered spiritual. So you still don't say anything that's saying guaranteed solar ascension in this life, but you see the attempts to help you solar ascend. And then when you go to the 11th house, which is the surrender house of 11, you got 22 again with the twin flames, and you got Aries, which is the 1st house, and your Aries house is the twin flame house as well. So let's look at the number 46. Now, 46 can mean that you did meet your karmic debt, which would mean these retrogrades. And you kind of notice because you got your good fortune at 22 degrees, and then you got Neptune at 22 degrees. They're both at 22 degrees, but Neptune is retrograde. So now we go to your 12th house, which is really the dysfunctional house, but they have Chiron there for healing. And 21 is 777, which is perfect harmony. And let's see what the number 34 is. Soul growth, when the soul grows, or power, soul growth is the number 34. All right. So now, if you say, well, what karma do I have to work on? Let's go back over it again for the retrogrades. We'll go right through. The female aspect of the twin soul union, it has to feel cherished. It can't feel like it's not cherished. Uranus retrograde can just mean internal, but Uranus is real independent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe it could be less independence because you're trying to work on a union. So it can't be me. It has to be we to a certain degree. The 7th house, Neptune retrograde in the 7th house is basically, it's not telling you that's a retrograde like something you have to work on. It's telling you it's going to be when you go to sleep or through your subconscious, it's going to be giving you messages for you to unite as a twin. And Neptune rules Pisces, and if you notice, Pisces is in your 10th house with medium quality. So those are things to work on. And I personally, just giving personal advice, I would learn a little bit more about, I would make sure I understood what solar ascension is and what lunar reincarnation or moon reincarnation is, because this is all on YouTube. because a lot of people don't even know this stuff, and some of them don't believe it. But I think if people really knew how serious it was for them to unite with their twin, they wouldn't mess around as much. But they just see it as a side thing or something to get back to. But it's kind of important. All right, so that's all I can do for this chart, and then we'll do the second chart, and then what we're gonna do after we do both, we're gonna look at them again together and see what we can see. Now we're going back and see there go that Jupiter immediately. Immediately, Jupiter is in that first house. Let me just count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So immediately Jupiter is in that first house. And see, in your 11th house, you know you're dealing with twin flame because you got Libra right there. The scales of the 7th house. But this is the 12th house is your dysfunctional house. And then Juno's there, and she's retrograde. And whenever Juno's retrograde, that means it was infidelity. So that's why your stuff is all dysfunctional for this gentleman. And then the moon is there, because like I said, the moon, you can look at, like I said, you can look at the moon as the police. He gonna lock your ass up. He gonna lock your ass up. And then he's testing you out. And number 13, he's testing you. And that's the serpent. It's the number 13 is the test, the purification, and the serpent. So you're trying to get balance or twin flame union in your 12th house, but it's difficult because Juno is retrograde. So with Juno wants you're gonna have bad karma because it was an infidelity. And then when you go to your first house, you got Scorpio, so you know you're still dealing with the soul house, the 8th house, the twin soul stuff. And then Pluto's also retrograde, and that means something external hits you hard to make you change, but it's something external, and this is your true north node. So and then if you notice, your Jupiter is also at 13, so that's that test and all that. So you might have financial issues, but the reason why you're having financial issues is because you got all these retrogrades, like it's bad karma that must be addressed. And so then your second house is your East Point there, but your second house is trying to because I said this person might have financial problems, but you see what he's got. He's got Sagittarius in the second house, which is saying, we got to get healing. We got to heal these financial problems. And then in the third house, where you have Capricorn, you have this person's gonna be free spirit and Neptune. So they're gonna be idealistic and free spirit, and they might even be good workers because Capricorn is a good worker. But that's what it'll be. He'll talk about stuff like that. Talk about being free spirit, free. He'll talk about his dreams or hopes he wants to do. And, he might be somewhat of a good worker. And then the fourth house is with Cancer family, but you have the Aquarius. But Aquarius can be the enlightener, and enlighten others, like with either teaching or might even invent something, anything, just something that helps other people out at the end of the day. And depending on what house it's in, it could mean surrender of the twins. And the fourth house may mean that too. But I don't have any other items in there to really tell what it means. I just know that as a whole, Aquarius is really that enlightened teacher, and he's helping other people become enlightened or benefit from his knowledge. Fifth house, you got Pisces, so they got that spirituality again. There goes that spirituality again. And now you got it going on. Fifth house, he got Saturn. So Saturn lets it be fun, but not too fun. And then Mercury, which we have great communications. And then Mars would be a lot of energy in the 5th house. 6th house, again, that Virgo healing. You got Aries, and you have love because of Venus. So you're trying to heal with Venus. You got a lot of energy to do that. And again, Lilith is retrograde, but even she's got love, because 666 is like pure love, just like 777 is pure harmony. And then your sun sign is at the Virgins, the 7 number, and that could indicate a solar ascension. Could indicate it. And then Palace is helping them try to make it happen. So then when you go to your house 7, a lot of nurturing. You got good fortune. So that's what you really want to see. You see how they keep showing you 17 in your 7th house. So you want to find out what the number 17 stands for. 9 is the 2 coming together. That's the finale when the 2 come together. 17 is karmic liberation. So this person has a lot of retrogrades, but the difference is it looks like he's better closer to solar ascension. Your 8th house, again, got Gemini, so you're still dealing with the twins. It's still twin flame situation. This is really the 9th house, which is Cancer, your higher self, and got 915. So let's go really quick and see what 915 is. The positive changes you've been making are helping your career to blossom into your meaningful mission in life. Now, let me see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then again, your 10th house is Leo. Why? Because Leo represents the sun. He's ruled by the sun, so they're encouraging solar ascension. And you got medium quality there at in 18 and 666, or a love. And like if you see Leo, like if you say the 10th house is your career house, so if you were to say if you have Leo in your 10th house, what would that mean? You say, I'm gonna answer that question, but what I want to do, I want to go back into this website, and I want to get the count of your houses again to make sure the count is correct. Give me one moment. Here we go. All right. Now we're going all the way down. This is for the male. We just want to get the count of the house to make sure it's correct. Here we go. The count this is 8. Let me see. True North Node is 1. Jupiter, you can't have it both ways. Pluto is 1. East point. So again, you'll be 1, 2. This would be 3. 4, 5. This would be 5. Say 5. You can't do that. 3, That can't be 5. Alright, so I'm gonna do it this way. 1, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. See, because what they do, they have his ascendant, which should be house 1, but then they have EP, that's more or less in house 1. And the count be funny, because usually I would just stick with the ascendant and go, that's house 1. That's kind of much what I did. But I have seen it where they go with EP sometimes and say, well, this is the first house. But at the end of the day, it has to, it has to make sense. You can't go 1, 2, 3, 3 houses, and then there's a 4th house, don't say anything, and then the 5th house, but you counted the 4th. You just passed the house. How come you didn't count it? So they may be trying to say, well, that whole thing is it, but it's got to be 12. It's only 12 houses. So I already explained that. I got a video for it, so you can check out how to count houses. But I just wanted to make sure, because I want to make a statement about medium Coeli with a Leo. So this would be 11. But see, they're just not counting it logically. However they're counting it, they're not counting it logically. But the way I counted it is logical, because if you go around, you'll start with AC, you'll say 1, and when you go around, it should go all the way around. Like if I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this should be house 7. But now because of what they did, house 3, they just didn't count it. They went from house 2, and they said it. You put your cursor on Uranus. All right, they went from house 3 with Capricorn is. You put your cursor on it on a Uranus. It says 3, and that's what it should say. But when they got to house 4 with Aquarius, they didn't count it at all. So when you go to Pluto, they go house 3, which is not. That should be like house. At that point, it should be house 5. So that's where you lose your count, because they go 1, 2, 3. They don't count house 4, and then they want to count Saturn. Now they want to say 4. So they're not counting house 4, but they're counting like Saturn is house 4, but it's really house 5. And it messes your count up. So that's what happened. Now, all right. So if you see a 10th house with Leo, that person maybe be like a Leo is just a fun sign. It's a lion. He could be definitely some type of leader, but you want to say leader where or how. Sometimes it could even be entertainment, because believe it or not, Leo does deal with entertainment, but could be a lot of stuff, because it is a romantic sign. So it could be anything like it could be a dating center, but it could even Leo is traveling. So it's kind of hard to just say what a person would do. And I don't like, if I don't have any reason to say it, I don't like to go, oh, you're gonna, you'll do this, you'll have travel in your life or something, because there's no reason to say that. All right. So we're back with the male, and I think, did we go all the way around? All right. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think we did 5. So you got 5 where you have fun, but you're disciplined, like you don't overdo it. You're a fun communicator, and also a lot of it might be some struggles there, or just some kind of debates, or even sometimes it's just Mars energy. It's just a lot of energy. And then when you get to the 6th house, there's a lot of healing there. And, Venus wants to be in love, but Lilith is feeling like she was disrespected. So you have aggressive healing. So they put Aries in your 6th house because they're trying to heal this. So you don't have to, so you can solar ascend, and that's why the moon is there, and don't keep coming back to Earth through. That's why the sun is there, so you don't have to keep coming back to Earth through the moon. And then you have, I believe this is your 7th house, again about relationships. The nurturing is there. Your 8th house, the twins are there because of Geminis. The 9th house is your higher self. See? And that's what I'm saying. See, your 9th house has Cancer, but Cancer rules your 4th house. In your 4th house, you have Aquarius, because Aquarius means when the twins surrender. So that's what in your ninth house is your higher self. That's where you will really ascend. And then in your 10th house, they're making you some type of career with lion, but they're trying to use that sun energy again, the solar ascend. And then your 11th house, which again would be the two surrendering, which is Aquarius. You have Chiron retrograde because they're trying to heal your past life problems. And then you got Virgo, which is a healer in itself. Then in number 12, the 12th house, again, the twins, the scales. And you got a little mysticism there because the moon doesn't want to give the twins up. And he's not going to until they balance out, till they become one. Till they, stop putting things ahead of each other and stop hurting each other. So that's the one thing both of you. Well, he's closer to the solar ascendant. This chart is. The other one's not as close, according to what I'm seeing. But that's one thing y'all both got in common. Like a lot of charts, you can see where they really worked hard to make these two solar ascend. Whereas your chart is a little vague. His is more specific, but the female is a little vague. So what we're gonna do now is take both charts, put them together, and see what we can find. I'll be back. Oh, let me say, and another thing too, because I have a whole website on twin flame, and using the two charts and proving they're twins. I have a whole playlist on that. You can check that out too. Because I mean, it's one of those things. Of course, people's feelings get involved. Because if I see it, it's like, yeah, I knew we were. But if I don't see it, it's like, oh, what? He don't know nothing. Who does he think he is? And it's like, but at the same time, I'm humble enough to say I really don't know. I'm only telling you what I see. It is possible, and maybe it's not possible. But when you really understand twin flames, you kind of know. Like I know my twin is my twin because the universe has kept her in my face, and all the steps of twin flames we followed, and you could feel that bond, whether you liked it or agreed with it or not. You can still feel that bond that this is definitely my twin. Like it's crazy. It's almost like a pregnancy. Like a woman knows that's her baby. Like, how you gonna tell me that's not my baby? That baby was in my womb. You can't tell me what my baby is, and she been curse that whole hospital out. Give me my baby. So you kind of feel like that, is one of them things, but it is based on the stages. Always in the same place, blah, blah. There were times when I told the universe I want to talk to her. Have her standing over there. And I would get up and she'd be over there. And it would be and we worked around a lot of people. But when we needed to say something to each other a lot of times, it would be set up that we could say it. Nobody else would even know we was talking. And nobody else would even know we was, near each other. So it's just stuff like that. All right, I'm going to put this on pause for a moment. I'll be back. All right, so here we go. Now the goal is just look at it and just look for stuff. And I'll be going real slow because it take a minute. There's been times when I looked for like a long time and I couldn't see it. Then all of a sudden I see it. But I'm telling everybody, like, this twin thing, it bothers people because you have to study a little bit. And this is why people get so mad. Like, just to prove my point. Like, if I came out with a video and I said something like twin flames uniting or twin flames, blah, blah, blah. That video can get like 6,000 to 7,000 people. So that's like 6,000 to 7,000 people that are aware of twin flame. But let me say something like how to get your twin to commit or how to get commitment. Nobody watches that video because these people, they want it easy. And it's not going to be easy. Like, to me, twin flames is a way God gets people's attention. Like, because it touches their heart. And then they all upset, but they still want to be like children. Like, you can't be like children. You have to really realize this is supposed to be a commitment. And it's just something about that whole twin soul thing that moves people. Like, if it was just somebody they were dating, again, they wouldn't take it seriously. Or we'll just date. Or we'll do whatever. And if it doesn't work out, we'll just go our separate ways. But when they hear twin soul, it makes them feel a little bit more, this is serious. And they'll take it a little bit more serious in that regard. But they still don't want to, like, study it. Or really work. And then a lot of people just want to be in love. Oh, I just want love. I don't care about all that stuff. But you're gonna have to with twin souls. You're gonna have to care about it. And that's why I never changed my tone. When I came out, I was always saying how hard this is and everything. But I always study. Like, I'm up on it. I never took it for granted. That's why I said people know. And I get a lot of emails like, if only your twin knew how much you cared. And I said, I think she did know, but it was just typical. She's not the only female I've seen. It's like the love, they don't really get it. It's something wrong there. We all got issues that we need to work on, but it's something where it's either something within herself or something where she has to be drawn to the guy that disrespects her. She has to be drawn to the bad boy. And the guy that wants something real, she's not drawn to it. But on her deathbed, that'll be the guy she wishes. And I got somebody's going through that right now, because right at the same time I said this is divine timing, because her twin and her were separated. She didn't even like to say separated. I said you're gonna have to say separated because that's part of the stages. Don't say solitude. Don't change the word. It's separated. You guys are not with each other. You were presently separated. That's part of the stages. Don't change the words. Don't make it. Don't make it like. Don't go against what the universe says. So now, just as she's getting her twin flame natal charts, he's in a hospital. He wasn't even talking to her, but now he's like near death, and now he's calling out to her, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's just something weird about people that you know this is the person you're supposed to be with and stuff like that, but instead of you humbling yourself, you keep fighting against it anyway. But on your deathbed, that's the person you're gonna wish was sitting there next to you, and it's just weird. It's just weird. But that's why I tell people we have to grow up and we have to take responsibility. This is something that needs to be studied. You need to know the stages. And you also need to know what to say when the universe gives you another chance to talk to your twin. You got your mannerism may mean just things you have to say. But you have to really, this is something that you have to be committed to. Because you're committed to anything you want to do, you're committed to it. Some kids will sit outside, they'll throw the football just up the street. 2 kids in the street or whatever throwing a football back and forth for like 4 or 5 hours. It's a freaking football, okay? 2 hours for the football, 2 hours to study twin flame. I mean, let's do something that's not so immature. Because I honestly believe most people won't see their twin until they grow up. And then again, and if you don't grow up, you may see them again, but it's going to be another separation. You'll see each other, might have a little bit of sex, but then it's going to separate again. Because both people have got to say, hey, listen, we got to be committed to this. Like, let's work together. And that's what happened with Twin Flame Era. They actually came together, apparently were living together, and it looked like, they were doing pretty good, but you never saw them really hug each other. They never really set romantically. They just set, It's something you got to really commit to. And believe it or not, that's how dating used to be years ago. Like decades ago, dating was like that. It wasn't like, oh, I meet you, let's have sex, great. Oh, okay, now we had sex. Oh, now I don't like you, let's break up. It wasn't like that. You walked, you got to know people, you talked, whatever. You might actually have known that person for like 7 months and never had sex with them. But that sex, once you get it, is like boom. I think it does more damage than helps. I really do. There's a time and place for everything, but first you want commitment. Because if you ain't got commitment, you ain't never gonna have. You might have some great sex or whatever, but that's not gonna make that person stay with you or be loyal to you. It has to be commitment. Like a man has to respect you, especially a woman has got to feel loved. A man has got to feel respected. A lot of that only comes from eye contact, real communication, real sacrifice for each other and stuff like that. That's when you say, I can't live with you. I can't live without you. That's a soulmate when you can't live without the person. Like I have to be with you, but you can't get that way by rushing into it. This is serious. So, right? All right, where's your Chiron? East Point, where again the female is on the left hand side, the male is on the right. East Point. Where is your East Point? Okay, there it is. East Point. Mars, where's your Mars? Mercury. Palace. Yeah, but what I'm saying, the more you know what a twin flame is, the more you study it, the more you'll have a better idea how to deal with it. And the only thing, like I said, really whatever person believes, that's their business anyway. Because they're like, oh, I don't care what that thing says. I don't care what you say. I know this is my twin. And that's cool. I'm not arguing. But you do have to realize, what if the real twin shows up? So with the true north node, Mercury, Venus, Ceres, the moon. Alright. So see, like the moon and the Jupiter, and then both your, well, not really. Like his is 17 degrees and 13, and then the other one is 13 degrees. So they're not both degrees. And then it's at 13, but then your best is 17. But that's the closest. The closest thing is like your Jupiter, your moon. It's close to your Virgo and Leo. Not fully though, but yeah. Saturn, Saturn, Pluto. Where's your Pluto? Juno. All right, all right. Juno. Where's Lilith? Lilith. Uranus. Sagittarius. Aquarius. You know what's funny though? Like cause you're Sag, where his Aquarius is on the right side, and that's where he jumped. The person that counted this for some reason jumped the house, and then you see your Aquarius where it's at. I mean, cause it's just strange to me how, cause your Aquarius is at a very pivoted, a very important spot on the chart, on your chart. And his Aquarius, the guy just counted past it. Like he didn't even count it. Like he actually went house 1, 2, 3, and that should have been house 4, but he basically counted Saturn as house 4. I just see, like, I catch stuff like that. That's just weird to me, because he didn't even know about this chart, but yet in that way it's kind of unique how that happened. Okay, now here's the deal. This is what I see. Now Juno, when you see Juno, you would say you might end up in a relationship. Now I'm reading your chart, and I'm in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm in the 5th house where Juno is. I would have wrote you might end up in a relationship. This is what I would have wrote, something like this. You might end up in a relationship with a Libra type person, who is disciplined and like a deep deep disciplined person, and may have connections to the 8th house, and it may be money. That's what I would have wrote. Now, but see, he doesn't really have. See, this is where it's gonna get. Yeah, you got some stuff in your favor, because he don't really know what time he got born, and just by that little bit, that Juno would kind of be. It could even be. See, I was almost at the bridge. I want y'all to see this. Remember what I just said. You may end up in a relationship with a person that's a Libra, that with connections to the 8th house, and that's what this is on his chart. Because you don't really know what time he's born, so his Juno might be right on that cross, which would be 7th Libra and number 8 Scorpio, the 8th house. Because that's the only thing I see that I would say. But like I said, I'm a humble dude. I'm not trying to say I know everything. I could be dead wrong, and that's why I make sure I let everybody know. I'm only telling you what I see, because if that's how you really feel, nobody's telling you that. But I have to tell you, as a man that has a conscience, that just because somebody's basing off and getting upset, that still don't mean that's your twin. Like, I want to know. Like, me personally, I want to know. But in this case, it works out, because that's exactly what I would have said. You might end up with a person who's a Libra, who's disciplined, who's deep, and who's connections to the 8th house with money. And then it's right there. And in fact, that's his ascendant. And that usually, when you're dealing with souls that came back, a lot of times they come through the ascendant, and it usually is a retrograde. Like you might see a Pluto retrograde in the first house, and that's what he got. That's what he got. He got a Pluto retrograde. That's so cool. I love being me, y'all. I love being me. Y'all just can't imagine. Y'all just, I just love being me. All right, I'm getting up out of here. This was a pleasure. Want to thank God, the angels, God the Mother, God the Son, God the Father, God the Holy Ghost, all the archangels, my guardian angel, and thank y'all, because I be having a ball with this stuff. God bless.